What's up, people? I'm back, and I want to continue reading more of The Age of Apocalypse. Um, like I said, it's a pretty long run. It's a fun run. It's one of my favorite stories. It's a whole dark one of the X-Men's many dark dystopian timelines that things just don't work out for them the way they wanted to. If you guys haven't been following, essentially in this alternate timeline, Charles Xavier died younger than he was supposed to. Magneto went on to found the X-Men, and the world's a very different place. And when Apocalypse hatched from his slumber, like he would in the main 616 universe, they were just caught off guard. The gist of it is, they haven't said it yet, but the gist of it really is that in the main universe, Magneto versus Xavier made the mutants temper themselves, fight, and do combat in ways they had never done before. That when Apocalypse hatched, it was like only survival of the fit. He was like, who the fuck are these guys? Well, they should just beat his ass. And that wasn't so much the case in this world. So let us continue reading stories from the Age of Apocalypse. So a flashback with X-Man. Behold, the mightiest mutant to walk the face of the earth. Who is this all-powerful child, and where does he come from? Find out in this exciting, all-new origin issue, and you gotta read it to believe it. The light sings to him, softly at first, but ever so clearly, so comforting, until another, more familiar refrain intrudes, just a whisper from the dark. The story of Nate Gray is not yet told. So you do my best Stan Lee impersonation. And what a tale we have to tell. Picture an all-powerful boy from another Earth, trying to survive in our world. His limited energies burning so brightly, so hot, so fast, that they doom him to an early death. But you can't truly comprehend the astonishing ending without prying aside the curtain of the past to reveal the incredible beginning. So prepare yourself, O seekers of the truth, for a shocking glimpse into the most secret sagas long hidden in the darkest corners of the mysterious multi-faceted Marvel Universe. Dispel all your notions of reality. Forget about the seething universe we know today, a cauldron brimming with Marvel superheroes locked in never-ending combat with the world's deadliest villains. And remember another era, the Age of Apocalypse. Let it continue to smolder deep in the murky shadows of legend. Yet let your mind whirl back to a time without Professor X. A time without the dream of man and mutant coexisting in peace. A time with no future. Focus on one man only, one primal force for evil. Call him Mr. Sinister. Lately risen from the hellfire of yesterday, now travel back a few years with me. A few years with me, Stan Lee, back to an abandoned orphanage in Omaha, Nebraska. On a dark and stormy night. Stan Lee presents Breeding Ground. Once he was Nathaniel Essex. Real quick, I gotta add, Sinister's always been my favorite X-Men villain. A villain's villain, he's a fucking villain. Once he was Nathaniel Essex, husband and father to his own family and midwife, to the next stage of humanity's evolution, a doctor attending the painful birth of Homo sapiens superior, the mutant race. Perfect. Tonight's tempest should supply all the power I'll need to proceed to the next phase, free and clear, without alerting the High Lord's North American energy grid managers to this, my most personal of projects. But that was more than a century ago. Now he is known as Sinister. Like any sane man in today's mad world, Sinister fears Apocalypse. But he also serves him as a somewhat trusted horseman. One of an extremely select few commissioned to oversee the ageless and Sabanor's ruthless rush to power. Sinister has been secretly diverting precious resources and stolen time to this private laboratory over the long years. This brilliant geneticist has poured the blood, sweat, and tears of thousands of volunteers, along with the rest of their bloody fluids, into research, along with the rest of their bodily fluids into research towards a solution. With time and 2 final unwitting contributions from 2 very special mutant donors, theoretically resulting in the ultimate genetic template of their kind. Open. The solution became a plasm, and then the plasm came alive. A thriving biomedium like no other, ever stirred and stoked by Sinister himself, shaped by his hands, taking the form of all his most daring dreams, his grandest, greediest, most glorious ambitions, his hope for tomorrow. Let me look at you, boy. Fingernails are clear, unclouded. Hair's longer than last time I see. Thicker as well. Protein labels have finally begun to stabilize, obviously, but you're shivering. Put this sensor weave on then, while I look into recalibrating your thermotide sequence to compensate for boom. Dressed already? You'll need a name now, I suppose. A hook to hang your identity on. Gray, after your mother, of course. Nathan Gray, I think. The mutant pure Summers bloodline contributed your Y chromosome, true, but I, for all intents, am your father. Generations of power, seeding and weeding from my favorite stock earned me that. Behind me, Nathan. Wow, curious Sinister. I was just downloading the N-week data on next month's plague to your cross-referencing, as per the Big A standing orders, and I couldn't help but notice the unusual transmission delay, 0.07 milliseconds minimum. A forwarding interval that puts you somewhere deep in the Blightlands, according to my calculations. And is that a nutrient bath of some sort, cobbled together from... Not to worry, Beast. I will correct all your figures and adjust your final numbers as necessary, as usual, first thing in the morning. That obiscuous oaf is a monstrosity, Nathan. The very reaches in nature cannot be left to her own. Nathan? Nathan! Accelerated aging is not easy on a boy. His body lies still for weeks, his mind dormant, while his cells are artificially induced to mature at a far more rapid rate than normal. So each awakening is a rebirth to the just christened Nathan Gray, an opportunity to rediscover, to explore the boundaries of his expanding world, to test the limits of his growing body. He has a lot of catching up to do. Everything old is new again. King of the Hills. This place holds many memories, all its own. Children lived and learned here in its day, eating and sleeping and praying elsewhere within these haunted walls as well. King of the pills, you mean, Summers? Yeah, Scotty's brain damage is showing again. I think he's funny. Hundreds of children of every age, from each and every corner of the globe, confined to the safety of home. Children without parents, sheltered in more than one case now for their mutant potential. Lighten up already, guys. I'm just trying to get in a few laughs while we can before children were used here. Teach alert! Teach alert! Shh. This place holds many secrets. Nathan? Nathaniel? Daniel? My name echoing back. From the kitchen it sounds, come out of there, boy. Come out of there now, right this instant. Do not make me come out in after you. I warn you, Nathan, this is the last time only. If you are somewhere, if this is some infernal game of hide and seek, sorry, I got lost. This is what is out there, child. The dangers you are nowhere near ready to face without me. Apocalypse Great Seawall is well underway, set too close off the North American continent completely. The High Lord has long since claimed the Isle of Manhattan for himself, as you can see, and his mutant elite have already begun shipping the local gene pour to his newly constructed processing plants. The Seattle core is the only remaining power source for all that is left of what was once laughingly called the United States. And the gene pens are everywhere for now, sorting the strong from the weak, the chosen from the chattel. This, my boy, this is the age of apocalypse. But it does not have to be this way. It was not always, I assure you, and it will not be forever. If I have learned anything from my passion for purity, my faith in the straight and true path of science, it is that nothing so tainted and twisted, so sudden and severe, can be trusted to survive. No, please don't take my aunt. Impossible. I felt nothing, no sense of displacement, no conventional teleportation effect. Yet, we are here somehow, actually here, in the gene pens, between the humans and the processors. But I cannot allow any harm to befall the child. Psionic projections. We're nothing more than astral images, both of us, invisible to our surroundings from without substance. Stop. Nathan. This is Nathan's doing. His psionics kicking in without control. He is everything I imagined and more, so much more, so soon, too soon. But if I am correct, if our material bodies are actually still in my lab, in physical range of my side disruptors, it's merely a matter of telepathically triggering an alpha interference frequency, already keyed to the high end of his brainwave patterns. What the heck? To snap us back into reality. A fail-safe contingency I was wise to design before embarking on this project, apparently. There is no more telling what trouble the boy was about to. Why? Why did you do that? More importantly, Nathan, far more importantly, why would you ask? All I do here, I do for you. I do for us. It is a hard, harsh world you have been born to, Nathan Gray. People, humans, and mutants alike are all X-factors. The least predictable, least controllable, most volatile of variables, family itself has proven a weak and insustainable weave, a short-lived memory of yesterday. Too easily sacrificed to tomorrow, perhaps. But Father still knows best. The Creator knows his creation indeed. Whether it had been young Nathan's original interest or not, Sinister's modern magic trick, his plasm cohesive reproduction of the soft smiling teddy bear, appears to be enough. For now. The storm has broken. The night is past. Dawn, Nathan. Tomorrow's light. A light for you. A light you are not yet prepared to face, I fear. It's time for your bath, little one. And when you next emerge again, taller, leaner, surer of mind and body, a veritable cauldron of stirring power and strength, I shall be right here waiting, as always. Good night, Nathan. Good night. My mind. He spoke directly to my mind, sweeping through telepathically for just a moment, despite the lab's still active side disruptors. Even as the doctor called Sinister suppresses a smile, savoring the ripening fruit of his long labor, somewhere deep and dead inside the man named Nathaniel Essex gives one last shudder. A weapon, yes, the deadliest ever conceived by the time he is ready, but one that no longer sees solely through my eyes or listens to my voice alone. A deadly miscalculation. If I would still see him wielded against the Mad Butcher Apocalypse one day, if he would be wielded at all, there must be control. No single vessel can long contain the power that Gray has been bred to command. I am sure of that. Nature will demand its duty inevitably, and his own seething psi emitters will burn out the body well before adulthood. But nature's control is not enough. Not near enough, considering what I saw tonight. Control must be mine alone. I have one final opportunity to recode the operating matrix. Fortunately, a last chance to insert one more DNA subprogram. And if all goes as planned, this little time bomb will explode before a young Nathan ever even reaches critical mass. Fini? Next issue, dead ahead. Thank you guys for listening to me read Age of Apocalypse. Like I said, I'm going to keep trying to get on this. I'll post this on my YouTube. You guys give me a like, give me a follow, and just keep coming check it out. Thank you guys very much.